Hey guys, Pastor P here. Hope you're doing well today. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Just want to encourage you, as always, to take a Memorial Day moment and just think on and ponder on and consider the possibilities of all those who went out ahead of us, who gave their lives, gave their all, so that we might live in a nation that's free. And so always be keeping that in mind. You know, I'm not about dipping into politics or any of that kind of stuff, but I will encourage you that if something feels more like bondage than freedom, pay attention to it, especially in this country. So hope you're doing well and hope you've had a great week. I hope that this, the teaching we've been doing, the sharing we've been doing on traditions and habits and identifying cues and triggers and our response to things and our hot pursuit of reward for the things that we do that sets forth our behavior and why we do the things that we do, and taking a close look at that. I hope that's really helped you. I hope that if not you, maybe somebody that you're sharing it with, because I know you got it all together. But this might help someone else down the road that might be struggling with wanting to change an action or activity that they're doing in life, want to change, want to get off of this addiction, want to break a habit, want to identify some triggers and some cues. Maybe just some of these seeds, some of these nuggets might help out with that. We talked about last week about taking every thought captive. Now, we do a whole lot of thinking. Every day, every one of us, there's a whole lot that goes on between our ears, a whole lot that runs through us, and things and decisions that we make, and, you know, what to put in my coffee, what to do with my life, do I go to work today? Do I read this book? Do I read that book? Do I click on Facebook? Do I take that other drink? Do I take a smoke? Do I take some of this to relieve some of that? We all go through and make lots of decisions each and every day. And our habits are what drives those decisions, our behaviors. And so, yes, we looked at last week about taking every thought captive and identifying those things that cue up and trigger some of the things that we do. And so this week, familiar verse I'm going to share with you, and then I'm going to jump right into the lesson. It comes from Romans 12:2, and we discussed this when we were back talking about our thoughts and considering the things that go through our head, because we don't have to take hold of or own every single thought. We can take that thought captive when it first starts, like, oh, I need this, or what do I really? Maybe I just need to go drink a big glass of water. Maybe I'm dehydrated and it's not these cookies that I need. Maybe I need to go for a walk and it's not this anxiety and fear that I need to invite into my life. Maybe I need to walk it out. Maybe I need to talk to a friend. Maybe I need a therapist. Maybe I need to see, that's one thing too. This stigma around mental health issues. You know, if you need help, get that help you need. You so deserve to be healthy. You deserve to be mentally healthy, physically healthy, spiritually healthy. Do what you need to do to get there. I just want to encourage you to do that. But this verse from Romans 12:2, it says, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed, be metamorphosized, be changed by the renewing of your mind, the freshening, the renewal of your mind. It's about planting that seed and cleaning out the weeds. I mean, we talked about all that months ago. And so if you need to go back, go back. If you need to go back to last week and look about taking every thought captive, let's do that. Do the work. It's going to be so worth it. It says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will know. If you do this, it's an if-then statement, conditional statement. If then you'll be able to test and approve what God's will is, God's good, pleasing, and perfect will. And I know that those of you who tune in here, I'm hoping that it's God's will that you're hoping to align yourself with, align your life with. And so I just want to encourage you with this. And so it's about Do not conform to the pattern of this world. Don't get caught up in the world's pattern. Don't get caught up in the world's habits or the world's traditions, but be transformed, be changed by the renewing of your mind, the metamorphosis of your mind. And we talk about this change as a catalyst for setting behaviors in line. You see, there's 4 laws of behavior, and a lot of this I'm taking from James Clear's book on atomic habits, and which I shared with you last week a few years ago. And some of the highlights here I want to just hone in on. And one of these is about the 4 laws of behavior. Like, you want to change a behavior, pay attention to some things. Pay attention to those things that are obvious, like we talked about last week. Identify cues. A lot of times we just roll through life not paying any attention, willy-nilly, just doing stuff and asking ourselves, how did I get here again? How did I end up in the same place? Identify cues that trigger habits. So the first here is if you want behavior change, you got to make it obvious. Like, let's put this billboard out here, or let's put this big board we're going to write things on. These are some of my cues. These are some of my triggers. Now, if you want behavior change, you've got to link that thing to something you already enjoy. Link it to something you already enjoy. So, for example, if you are wanting to make a change in what you're eating, if you're wanting to eat healthy and you enjoy eating, how about let's begin designer meals for yourself and your family. Let's try something a little bit different. And I know change is hard in that, but link it to something important. Link it to a celebration. Link it to a holiday that we're gonna change on this day. We're gonna begin to do something new on this day. And usually that will make everyone aware, like, oh dang, we usually do this and this and this on this holiday. Well, now we're gonna do this. And how much fun that would be. A lot of times, for the longest, anytime we had a friends get together, it was always centered around food. Well, now it's centered around, let's go play putt-putt golf. Let's go for a horseback ride. Let's go for a ride up to the lake. Let's go, it doesn't always have to be linked with food or something that you might be struggling with. So the next thing is, if you want behavior change, make it easy. We make this whole list. That's why, New Year's resolutions are hard on folks. A lot of times they don't even follow through. We into the second week and you're already giving up. Okay, well, here we are at the end of May, or closing in on the end of May. How many of those resolutions do you remember, much less have followed through with? We got to make it easy. Let's take care of things one at a time. Take it easy. One day at a time, one at a time. And lastly, it has to be satisfying. It has to provide that reward we talked about last week. A reward is that response. This was the definition, I guess you might say, we gave last week. The reward for what you're doing, the response that you gave to something, has to have some kind of feeling, an emotion, a release, whatever it is that you're in hot pursuit of. That behavioral change has to move you. Like, if this is the change, it has to move you closer to it, not further away and not in confusion, but get you there. Okay, it's that catalyst. And so I know we're kind of rushed with this, but we're gonna spend some more time here. This may be more than just this month, because what I'm hearing back and what you guys are kicking back and in messages and that sort of thing is yo, Pastor P, I've been doing this so long. I've come to that place where I've been doing it so long, I don't know that I can break it. I don't know. I want to break it. I don't know what. There we are back with Paul's dilemma. Why do I do the things that I do not want to do? You can do it. You can do it. We're going to trust God for you to be able to kick it. So have a good rest of your weekend, especially this evening. And I'll see you again soon. Know that I love you. I'm praying for you, because I know some of you are trying to walk this path of change, walk this path of behavior change, get out of some old habits. and establish your own traditions for life and things that will matter, things that will excite, things that will bring life to your life. And you can do it. I love you. Talk to you again soon. Bye now.